HSC Scaling, a concept which many senior students have difficulty in understanding. So I'm here to explain as best I can in simple terms how scaling works in HSC. So if you're a Year 11 student just about to get into Year 12 this term 4, or if you're a current Year 12 student, I'd encourage you to listen very carefully to what I have to say in regards to scaling coming from a HSC teacher. So here's a good analogy to help you understand how scaling works. So suppose you have a seesaw, and one side of the seesaw you have the actual HSC marks. Okay, these are called the raw marks, and these marks are marks that students get from their different subjects, the subject exams that they sit for in the HSC. And on the other side of the seesaw, you've got what's called the scaled marks. And the primary intention of scaling is to make sure that subjects with different levels of difficulty are balanced, just like a seesaw, so that students aren't disadvantaged based on their subject's choice. And let's say that taking a more challenging subject like physics, let's consider that you're taking a more challenging subject like physics, getting a specific raw HSC mark in physics can be more difficult to achieve than, let's say, getting the same scaled mark as you would be in doing an easier subject, let's say a humanities subject. And let me be very clear here, I'm not making the statement that humanities are much easier, okay? So to help balance this, the scaling process uses what's called scaling factors. And these factors adjust the raw marks to ensure fairness between subjects, okay? And if physics is considered as being hard, much harder, and you do well in it, okay, your scaled marks might be slightly higher than someone who did well in an easier subject like the humanities. Other high scaling subjects out there are subjects like the English and Maths extension courses, so Maths and English extension 1, extension 2, chemistry, economics, the last time I checked. And here's an important note to students: don't choose a subject because it's a high scaler. Okay, only choose a subject if you're interested in it and if you're good at it, right? And something you might potentially need for uni, okay? And remember this as well, it's not a big deal in most cases if you don't do a subject that you need for uni. There's always bridging courses you can do. Okay, so these are courses that you do before you start the actual degree itself. And you might be asked to come in for around, let's say, 40 hours typically before the first semester. Let's say to do a short course on physics, let's say, because you didn't do physics through the HSC, and to help prep you, okay, before you begin your degree. So when it comes to applying to universities, they often consider your scaled marks because it levels the playing field between students who took different subjects. So if you did well in physics and you got a high scaled mark, it'll help your university admission chances, just like someone who did well in an easier subject. So that's how scaling works.